right, guys. Well, it shows that I am live at the moment. I was actually watching someone. I was actually watching George Bruno's live stream before I came on here, and I'm already having problems. Wow, already having problems. I'm just waiting for it to come up. It shows on my end that it's just buffering, not doing anything. I don't know what the problem is. Not really sure what the problem is. Okay, are we back? All right, let me know if I've got this going all right. It's kind of waiting to see, waiting for people to file in here, get a little bit of feedback. And there's a lot of lag. There's a lot of lag on this when I'm watching it on my laptop to kind of, give me some visual cues. It's amazing to me how far back it is, or how much of a lag there is. But if you can hear me fine, if you can see me fine, and if I'm not buffering, let me know. Let me know how it appears on your end. I did try. Oh, okay. I did try to. It's just doing all sorts of weird things. It says 5 watching now. My chat box is not even up. What is going on? I wasn't having any of these issues until I did this. I apologize, guys. Okay. Okay. Okay, I can see my comments now. But does it show that I'm buffering? And I hate to sound like a stuck record. So what problem am I having? It's weird because it's just buffering a lot. The other night when I did this, I completely lost it. Mike, I took your advice. I immediately after well, not immediately, but right after the live stream last Tuesday evening, I I bought a Wi-Fi buffer, and it's connected. I've got it all set up. It's all connected and everything, and yet I'm I haven't had any issues tonight until I got onto this. So yeah, that's the problem I'm having. It was good to see you, Gary, and of course Mike and Paul. But I do appreciate the suggestion, Mike, because I even called Frontier, which is who I have, and they're going to be coming out tomorrow because I'm upgrading my service. Hopefully that'll help. I don't know what's going on, but and I was going to use a different software tonight for this, but because my connection has been so sketchy, I didn't even want to take the chance with it. Okay, so Gary says he sees no buffering. Paul says that seems fine to him. Everything looks great to Jay. That's good. Good to see you, Jay. And you too, Paul. Yeah, so I've tried to make I've tried to make an improvement since I talked to you guys last. Like I said, with the Wi-Fi buffer. Hopefully, the live stream won't peter out like it did last time. So yeah, there we go. I'm just trying to figure a few things out. I'll be talking some more, just kind of like ironing out the kinks at the moment. I do have a few things that'd be fun to talk about. But how are you guys doing tonight? I saw that George Bruno was on, and I thought to myself, that figures. It does seem like a large delay. Yeah. Yeah, it was worse. It was worse Tuesday night. It might be just as bad now. I just haven't had time to see yet. I'm really hoping that with the upgrade in service after tomorrow, that'll make a big difference. I'm hoping that I can be here to actually talk to the guy. My wife will be here when they arrive to replace a few things, but I don't know if it's a router issue, a modem issue. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, yeah. Other than this right here, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm ready for the weekend. Uh, okay. Yeah, okay, maybe not. You saw that comment pretty quick. It did, yeah. Of course, I don't know how you tell on your end if there's a large delay. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to know because I know when I'm saying things, and then I see it on the screen, and it kind of I'm kind of stymied by it. The other last Tuesday night, it was just very bizarre how all that went down, and very frustrating. In fact, I got a little tense there when it petered out on me, and I was just feeling feeling very aggravated, and I try not to let it show. But yeah, we got it back. I'm just so glad that you guys are actually patient with the process. But I think a lot of people understand internet problems. Oh, okay. I see, Mike. Okay. You're saying I'm going by how fast you see my comment after I send. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. But anyway, I was saying that I was just watching George Bruno before I got on here because his live stream is going at the same time. He'll probably end it in a little bit because I know he goes to bed early. But so I was watching that and I was like, oh man, I don't want to have to compete with him, which I can't. I can't really compete with him, but I like his live streams and I end up commenting on them whenever I get a chance. But yeah, yeah, it's good to see familiar faces. It's good to see that it's good to see the same people here. I tell you what, if you guys know people who like the same kind of things you do, feel free to let them know that this might be a live stream that they might be interested in, and kind of point them in this direction, trying to grow this thing and just see what can happen as a result. YouTube's been kind of funny lately. Last month was a good month. A lot of views, a lot of interaction. Not live stream wise because I wasn't doing live streams back then. But yeah, this month it's just like my videos are just not getting seen. Like the video I uploaded today, I'm hardly getting any views on it at all. I don't know what's going on. And it's just, I mean, I don't get tons of views anyway on my, life lesson videos, my talking head videos. I don't get a lot of views on them anyway, but this is really unusual for them to be this low. So I'm not really sure what's going on with YouTube. And Gary says it should be better when I upgrade. Well, I hope so. I will be, I don't want to spend the extra money, but sometimes you just have to. It'll be twice as much, not twice as much cost wise, but it'll be twice as much data or twice as much service as I currently have. So I'm hoping that'll help. But I'm hoping this buffer will do something for me. Yeah, Mike, George is an intelligent guy. Yeah. Oh, okay, Mike. Mike, you're saying you have notifications on, and you didn't get one about my thing today. That's. Yeah. See, I don't know. And this is another thing. Like I don't think YouTube always follows through on a lot of things. When I commented on George's video the other night, he acknowledged me, and he said he had gone back and looked because he realized he hadn't seen some of my videos, and he what he found out was it's because he was no longer subscribed to me, and he didn't do that. He wouldn't do that. He's known me for a while, and Jay is saying he didn't get a notification either. It's making me feel like maybe telling people to turn the notifications on isn't doing any good. So yeah, yeah, but he said it showed that he was unsubscribed from my channel, which he wouldn't do. But he's talked about that before, how YouTube will do that. So it's just it's a strange animal, to say the least. So Gary's saying, Greg, this is why I've been messaging you on Facebook to talk YouTube and strategy. I can tell you some info on YouTube that can help. Okay, yeah, yeah. Mike says, I'll check the sub notifications again. Yeah, and George has even said, he's even told his viewers, go back and check to make sure that you're actually subscribed to people you normally watch. So yeah, I never do that until like months and months go by, and I think to myself, man, it's been a while since I've seen so-and-so's videos. Like Bald Cafe, that got brought up the other night, and it turns out I am still subscribed to him, but I never see his videos pop up. I think that the competition on YouTube, because there's so many people, the competition is just so stiff that people just get buried in all of it. Wow. So far it's looking decent. Like it doesn't look like it's doesn't look like I'm losing too much right now. Okay, so Gary's saying, Greg, some notifications are delayed for some reason. One channel I get instant notifications, but you and another channel I don't get a notification until the next day for some reason. Yeah, that's weird. My wife says that too. I'll upload a video, she doesn't even know it, and she'll tell me like that night or the next day, I just got a notification for your video. That is, so that seems to track. Seems to be the case. Yeah, it says notifications are on, right, Mike? If you go a long time without watching a video of theirs, the algorithms will definitely bury them. I just went and checked. I'm still subscribed, says Jay. Yeah. You know, this is the reason why I don't like these channels that try to tell people how to grow their channel. I think a lot of it's just a bunch of BS, and it's an easy grab. It's just an easy way of almost guaranteeing that you're gonna get a lot of viewers is if you make videos about how to grow your channel. And there's a lot of people out there following their advice, and it's not working. So I just don't believe a lot of it. Sith with no name says, if I don't watch Wrangler Star videos on a regular basis, they will start to disappear from my feed, even though I'm still subscribed. I don't know who Wrangler Star is. I'll look them up. By the way, this is something I've been meaning to ask you guys over the last couple of live streams. What are your favorite channels to watch? Because it's possible that I could benefit from finding something else. There's so many channels out there that it's who knows what we're missing. Okay, so I'm looking at Wrangler Star right now. Never heard of this guy. Never heard of him. I do see a video made by somebody else about him. It says, what happened? It was from 1 year ago. It says, what happened to Wrangler Star? The untold truth about Wrangler Star. But I know nothing about the guy. I'll have to check him out. I'll do that. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Yes, hit the like button if you haven't already. That does help. Helps a lot. So Wrangler Star is a great guy. They like to bash him. Isn't that funny? Yeah, okay, so this reminds me. I was going to bring this up, and I try to take notes about what I might possibly want to talk about. And this is one I forgot to jot down, but it's a good thing to hit on. So one of the channels I like to watch is Adam the Woo. Okay, Adam the Woo. Woo is spelled WOO, and he's been making videos for a long time. He's not everybody's thing, but he's got a very large following. He makes good videos. He makes videos every single day. He's a single guy, so he has the opportunity to travel a lot. In fact, right now he's in South Korea or getting ready to leave South Korea. But he's been making videos for over 10 years every single day. And he's just a good guy. He's just a good guy. But there are channels that are solely devoted to hating on him, and they upload every day making fun of him. And I just consider them scum of the earth, just absolute bottom feeders. The only way they know they can make it on YouTube is if they ride on somebody else's coattails. And that's the truth. And I always think to myself, they can't hate him as much as they say they do, because he's actually giving them material. He's not doing anything wrong, but boy, if you listen to them talk, it sounds like he is. And I watch his videos almost every day, and he's just a really good guy. But I can't stand. Well, I mean, trolls are just a fact of life on YouTube, but the ones that actually go so far as to produce or create channels and produce videos for the strict purpose of mocking someone and making money off of it, that makes me sick to my stomach. Absolutely sick to my stomach. Hey, Johnny. Good to see you again. Oh, Santa Tom. Good to see you too, man. Really good to see you. I was thinking about you today. I'm trying to remind myself that you're going to be in Florida or you're going to be in Lakeland on June 1st or something like that. I don't expect you to have time to meet up with me, but that would be really cool if we could arrange something where we could link up and maybe have lunch or dinner or something like that. It'd be really cool. I'm assuming it's for work or something related to like that, right? No, Mike, I have never checked out Soft White Underbelly, but something about that sounds familiar. I'm going to look them up right now. Soft White Underbelly. When I thought about doing live streams, this is not at all what I had imagined, but I don't mind doing it at the same time. Okay, why is it not doing anything? So I'm on a different tab. Okay, here we go. This looks interesting. What's the gist? Because all these thumbnails are different people. And I can't find the common thread just by a glance here, so I'm very. It looks like he probably interviews or highlights different people in their stories, kind of like the Humans of New York thing. Am I wrong about that, or am I right? Yeah, oh man, some of these people look somewhat disfigured. They look like they have a story. I might have to check that out too. All right. So how's eating treating you? Well, it's treating me well. It's treating me well. I don't know if you're talking to everybody, but as far as I'm concerned, it's going well. How are you doing, Johnny? Paul says, I really like the earlier videos about tools and toolcraft. Is that on Soft White Underbelly? Is that what you're talking about? Let me. Are you the one that recommended that? Oh, you're probably talking about Wrangler Star, right? Because it was Mike that was talking about Soft White Underbelly. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. Sharpening, refurbishing old axes and handling. So Mike apparently likes that channel too. But yeah, Tom, I look forward to that. I look forward to that. Hey, maybe we could even make a video together. How about that? Maybe we'll toss it around. We don't have to, but it'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Be kind of cool. We do a live stream, or we could do a recorded video, but I don't know what that would be about. But yeah, I would love to just get the chance of meeting you and talking to you. And I'll tell you what, Sam Tom, yeah, I keep calling you Sam Tom, right? But your video, your channel is doing very well. It's really taken off. I'm very proud of you for that. I'm very proud of you for that. It's impressive, really impressive. You got to certainly have a really good presence. You're a very good speaker, and you have a lot of interesting things to say. So I'm thoroughly impressed with what you've done with the channel. You're gonna be way bigger than me eventually. You might already. I haven't looked at your numbers. You're probably, I can guarantee you're probably getting a lot more views on a lot of your videos than I am. So yeah, you certainly have a pretty neat setup. So Mike says, I dove into the rabbit hole on it, and it's unbelievable. You are correct. It's basically their stories. Okay, that's, you know, I have thought about doing something similar some years ago, just finding random people to sit down and interview, like sitting in a like a subway, like not a subway, but like, you know, the restaurant, sitting in a subway or sitting in a McDonald's and finding random people and just, you know, people that are willing to talk and just tell their stories, because you can just look at individuals and guess that they must have had quite a history that if they could divulge and share with others, it could be beneficial to a good number of people. That'd be fantastic. I don't know. I don't know if I would be or not. I have never, I have never even thought. I mean, well, I'll just put it this way. I've never compiled a list of questions, interview questions that I thought would go somewhere. I really didn't, you know, spend a lot of time on it. I agree with Mike. That would be great. Well, maybe. Hey, you know what? If this is how you guys feel, then maybe I need to revisit the idea, right? Maybe I need to revisit the idea. So I've got a question for you guys. We've got 15 in here now. So I've got a question for you. I was thinking about this earlier. How did you guys find my channel? I can probably guess, for the most part, how the ones that are chatting, I can probably guess how you guys found my channel. But even if you haven't submitted a chat yet, maybe you might want to think about it, because because of the different kinds of content that I make. If you found me through my beard content, type 1. If you found me through my head shaving content, type 2. If you found me through my life lessons videos, type 3. And if it's none of those things, if you just happen to stumble across my videos and stuck around, type 4. Because I'd like to get a beat on that. Also, Jay's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Okay. So it looks like Mike is beard content, Gary same, Paul the same, San Antonio. Of course, San Antonio, yeah. So then saw your life advice, mixed that salt. Okay, you're somebody I haven't seen yet. That's thanks for chiming in. I appreciate that. Then saw your life advice videos and love them. Man, that makes me feel good. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Silent Sniper. This is a bald and bearded channel? Yes, it is. Well, basically, it's an amalgamation of bald, bearded, and you know, life lessons, food for thought videos. That's probably a better way of putting it. Food for thought videos. Robert, you okay? So you found me through beard channels. Benjamin, or Ben, he likes to be called Ben. So through head shaving. It's funny because there are seasons throughout the year on YouTube where the head shaving videos, and most of them are old for me now, take right off and get so much viewership, and the bearded content kind of fades in the background a little bit, but not much. And then other times it's just mostly bearded content. So Mike says, I enjoy every aspect of your channel, though, Greg. I truly mean that. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. That's very reassuring and comforting. So Jay says, bald, bearded, and beautiful. Well, thank you. Oh. So yeah, it's sometimes I've wondered. I ask all this because I've wondered if maybe in a sense I've kind of shot myself in the foot because I didn't narrow everything down to one niche and form separate channels. But I actually made a couple different channels that I've done nothing with, and they'll probably get taken down. And I haven't made absolute separate content for those because anything that you'd find on those other ones you could find on here. But I just I'm the kind of guy that it's really hard for me to narrow down one particular niche. I just like so many different things, and the way I looked at it was, well, sink or swim. This is what I do, right? So Jay's saying, I saw a video on TikTok today with you talking about a Viking brand brush. That must have been Mad Viking. They probably took. I think they asked me a while back if they could use a little clip of my video that I made about their brush, and I didn't realize they were putting it on TikTok. But that's cool. That's cool. Mike says he's still waiting on that podcast. I don't know. You know, I get a lot of requests. I get a lot of requests to make a podcast. And the only reason I don't comment on it a lot because I don't really listen to a lot of podcasts, right? So I guess there's video podcast and auditory podcast, right? Traditionally I always thought podcasts were just mostly auditory. But now you have a whole class of podcasts like Joe Rogan. It's both. It's both of those. You can get them in either format. Ben says, honestly, I like that your channel has all these facets that has a bit of everything. Well, good. Because, I kind of feel the same way about other people's channels that have like 3 or 4 different things going on, if you listen to the grow your YouTube channels, they always try to emphasize that you should find one thing to do, but I can't find enough to talk about one thing on a regular basis. But there are some people who don't follow any of the rules, and Adam the Woo is one of them. He doesn't follow any of the rules about growing your YouTube channel, and yet he's huge. He's huge, and he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care, and he's good at it. So Mike says your life lessons would make a fantastic podcast. Okay, that's an angle. Yeah, books, quotes, and life lessons would be great. So one thing I just don't know if I don't know if I'd have the time to put into it, but one of the things that has been suggested to me before is that I write a book with basically short chapters. Maybe like a 365-day. I've thought about this a long time ago, even before I ever did YouTube, because I used to teach classes in church, and I grew up reading devotional books and these 365-day a year books, and even these Secrets of Successful People book like this. It has 100 simple secrets of successful people, so you read like one a day. So I thought about writing a book like that and using my material that I've talked about, and just doing something like that. That's still possible. I've certainly got a body of work. I got enough there to do that with. Gary says, Greg, I have that exact same issue, which is what I was going to delve into with you when we get a chance to chat sometime. All right. So Paul says, Greg, it's because of your video that I created a playlist called Wisdom and Wise Philosophy. Oh, cool. That's nice. It's flattering, actually. Santa Tom says, I patterned my channel after yours. Santa, beard, mental health type content, and you're really good at it. You're really good at it, Tom. You've been such an influence on me and my channel. I feel really honored whenever I look at your channel and I hear you, I hear what you're saying, I hear what you're doing, and I know that I'm one of the guys you talk to in the very early stages. I mean, you're still kind of in the early stages, but I know that I'm one of the guys that you kind of consulted with, and it makes me feel good to look at what you're doing and see that you're doing as well as you are. So I I'm very happy to feel like I've been somewhat of a part of that. Eric, just got in Jacksonville. Thanks for piping in tonight, man. I was wondering, how long did it take you to get up there? Anyway, and did you ever get an SD card for your phone? So Eric is a buddy of mine. If you guys don't know, if you see in the chat there, Eric's Excursions, he's recently started a YouTube channel. He's getting his feet wet. He's having a lot of fun doing it. He's about the same age as I am. He might be a year or two older than me. I can't remember, but I've known him for a long time, and he's just having a blast making channels, and he's learning. Every time he goes out and makes a video, he learns a little bit more, and we talk quite frequently on the phone. And yeah, I did do a live stream with Eric. Yeah, and so yeah, it's just cool. It's cool to hang out with him and talk with him about all this stuff because he's so excited about it. In fact, he is the reason I'm doing this right now. I got set up for live streams a couple years ago. I just never did anything with it. But he's so gung ho about it that I said, I can't keep talking to this guy and not be excited about YouTube. So he was like, I'm just gonna make live streams. I'm just gonna do shorts. I'm just gonna do this and that. He does it. He just goes out and he does it, and he's having so much fun with it. But yeah. So check him out. Check out Eric's Excursions, and help my buddy out. Help my buddy out. So so Santa Tom says, I appreciate you. I'm like, oh yeah. So they're conversing with each other here. Yeah. If you haven't, let me tell you guys something. Let me get a drink of water here. Obviously, my mouth is getting dry. Water tonight. But if you haven't subbed to Santa Tom, go check his videos out. Subscribe to him. Same thing with Eric's Excursions. And Nicholas, good to see you too, man. And okay, so you found me through the bearded content. But yeah, thanks for giving me your input. It probably won't be the last time I ask that, because as the channel continues to grow, we're going to inevitably get more people in here that we haven't seen before. Also, I am using the rear cameras on this phone tonight, so everything should look exactly as it is and not backwards. But I was saying earlier that I'm not really getting any traction with the videos I've made lately, but I'm getting better views on the live streams than I am on the other stuff. So I have a feeling I'll be doing this more often. And I might even go out and make random live streams, out in the city and stuff like that. But I'm going to be, I think I'm going to go with EV Mux as far as a live streaming service goes. Because there's StreamYard, there's OBS, but I think I'm gonna go with EV Mux. So hopefully the format will change. Okay, so this day in history, guys. This day in history. Here's a few fun facts for you. In 1970, Apollo 13 returned to Earth. Yeah, Apollo 13 returned to Earth in 1970. That's when I was born, although this happened several months before I was born. But yeah. And then in 1790, Benjamin Franklin died on this day at age 84. Yeah. Good old Benjamin. Guess what his favorite color was? Guess what his favorite color was? It's not that hard to figure out, really. I mean, once I tell you, you'll probably go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Although it really shouldn't, I guess. Well, it was the color green. I say it seems like maybe it should be obvious because he's on the $100 bill. But yeah, Benjamin Franklin was quite an extraordinary man. In fact, I made a video. Oh, it was within this past month, past several weeks probably, about Benjamin Franklin, and I was talking about this book right here, Ben and Me. And I'll check the details. Let me see. Let me see if I actually have a link to that in the description down here. Yeah, no, I don't. I'll put a link. I'll put a link for this book down below after I'm done with the live stream. But yeah, it's a really, really good book. I had a lot of fun reading it. And if you like historical characters, Benjamin Franklin is quite a character. Is blue my favorite color? Yes. In fact, it's royal blue. Royal blue is my favorite color. Somebody asked me that on, I think it was 2 live streams ago, and I was saying the reason why royal blue is my favorite color is because when I was a little boy in the early 70s, I read Batman comic books voraciously. And the Batman of the 1970s wore gray and royal blue. And I just associated royal blue with that Batman of that time. And so it stuck with me. And so it just became my favorite color and has remained. So going back to this day in history, here's a good one for you guys. This one, yeah, I think you'll really like. All right. The Ford, in 1964, the Ford Mustang debuted at the World's Fair in Flushing, New York. So I was reading about this, and I thought this was pretty good. I'm on a different tab, so if I end up buffering or something, I won't know it. But listen to this, guys, and feel free if you've got a Ford Mustang, or especially if you got an old Ford Mustang, tell me so down in the comments because man, I love the old Mustangs. So it was saying here in this article that the Ford Mustang is officially unveiled by Henry Ford II at the World's Fair in Flushing Meadows. So I said it wrong. I said Flushing, New York. What do I know? I don't know New York. But Flushing Meadows, New York on April 17th, 1964. That same day, the new car also debuted in Ford showrooms across America, and almost 22,000 Mustangs were immediately snapped up by buyers. 22,000. Named for a World War II fighter plane, the Mustang was one of the first vehicles that came to be known as the pony car. Ford sold more than 400,000 Mustangs within its first year of production, far exceeding sales expectations. The Mustang, and I hadn't heard this before, but the Mustang was conceived as a working man's Thunderbird, according to Ford. The first models featured a long hood and short rear deck and carried a starting price tag of around $2,300. I mean, obviously, that would have been a lot more back then, but man. Ford general manager Lee Iacocca, who became president of the company in October 1964 and later headed up Chrysler, which he was credited with reviving in the 1980s, was involved in the Mustang's development and marketing. The car's launch generated great interest. It was featured on the covers of Newsweek and Time magazine, and the night before it went on sale, the Mustang was featured in commercials that ran simultaneously on all 3 major television networks. One buyer in Texas reportedly slept at a Ford showroom until his check cleared and he could drive his new Mustang home. The same year it debuted, the Mustang appeared on the silver screen in the James Bond movie Goldfinger. A green 1968 Mustang 390 GT was famously featured in the 1968 Steve McQueen movie Bullitt, which I've never seen but I've always wanted to, in a car chase through the streets of San Francisco, but I have seen those clips. Since then, Mustangs have appeared in hundreds of movies. So they had a few, just they had another paragraph. I won't read through here. Well, maybe I will. Hold on. Let's just go ahead and finish it off. Within 3 years of its debut, some 500 Mustang fan clubs had cropped up. In March 1966, the 1 millionth Mustang rolled off the assembly line. Can you believe that? In honor of the Mustang's 35th anniversary in 1999, the U.S. Postal Service issued a stamp commemorating the original model. In 2004, Ford built its 300 millionth car, a 2004 Mustang GT convertible, 40th anniversary model. Over the decades, the Mustang underwent numerous evolutions, and it remains in production today. Yeah, yeah. So that's something else. I'm a big fan of newer Mustangs, but the older models like they're talking about here, really, I would love to have them. Every once in a while, you still see them. So Gary's saying, I still to this day have that blue-gray color scheme in my head from Batman action figures from the '80s. Yeah, I tell you what, Gary, when I remember when the Batman movie came out with Michael Keaton, when that was getting ready to be released and the trailers came out. Oh, I flipped out. Oh man, I just flipped out. I was like, I can't believe it. They've actually done it. They've actually made a movie, like a good movie. Like, and I was there. I was there the night it debuted in the theaters, and I still have fond memories of that movie just because of all the feelings I had about that when it first showed. Flushing Meadows is where the U.S. Open is played, says Paul. Oh, okay. So Rogers says it's almost unimaginable that car was once priced at $2,300, right? I know. Be interesting if you could just go back in time with the money you have now. In 1989, I saw it multiple times at the theater and collected the cups from Taco Bell. Do you still have them? So at some of there's a lot of antique stores here in Florida. I can't remember where you're from, Gary. I don't remember, but there's a lot of antique stores here in Florida where you can buy all sorts of stuff, and the number of like cups and glasses and stuff that people have kept around, even foam, even styrofoam cups and glasses from restaurants like McDonald's from like the 70s and 80s, you can still buy. I can't believe they haven't broken down to the point where they can still hold up. But yeah, yeah, this town needs an enema. There's, I like the Joker had quite a few good lines, and I liked when he says, never rub another man's rhubarb." Oh, you're down the street from that shooting today, Gary. Oh man, I was trying to get some information on that before I started this live stream because I'd heard about it, but I haven't really clued myself in as to what's really going on over there. I need to watch. I need to watch some videos or read something more about it because FSU, man, yeah. So, well, I was going to ask what happened. I mean, I know there was. I don't know what was all. It's probably too long to go to on the chat. Yeah, I know, Gary. Right? That's the way I feel anymore, man. It feels like you're taking your life in your own hands, and you go out anymore. You just never know what's going to happen. But yeah. So what have you guys got going on this weekend? Anything really important? I mean, Easter is right around the corner. I do like Easter candy quite a bit. I have quite a sweet tooth, and it doesn't really do me any favors. So I read something. Looking at something in my notes here. When I was talking about Benjamin Franklin, I was looking for something in this book that I could share with you guys that is worth mentioning. And after I read it, I thought I need to make a separate video about this, so I probably will. But on page 231 in this book, I found something very interesting that I've never heard anybody say. And he was talking about basically getting someone who is considered in your circle somewhat adversarial to you, getting them, how to get them on your side, how to get them on your side, how to get them over to your way of thinking. And it was really interesting to me. We oftentimes think that if we need someone to kind of sidle up to us and kind of be beneficial to us and them both, that the best thing to do is to be a nice guy, right? Want to be a nice guy. If you're a nice guy, you do something nice for people, they're going to look at you a little bit differently and, with some kind of fondness, and they're going to respect you. Benjamin Franklin did not believe that. He did not believe that. He actually had a very contrary way of thinking about this, and that's what I want to share with you here. And here's what he said. Ben said, "He that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged." Now, I know it's kind of a mouthful, an earful. I know it's kind of hard to understand, but the author of this book, he put it into plain English for us. So here's what the author said. He goes, "It sounds counterintuitive, even a little loopy, I know. Wouldn't we favor those who do us favors? Not necessarily. As Franklin discovered and recent studies confirmed, the opposite is true. We don't like people who are nice to us." Right? Is that true? We like people to whom we are nice. Why? One explanation is cognitive dissonance. It's difficult to hold two contradictory thoughts at the same time. It makes us uncomfortable. But we resolve this tension by changing our mind. I don't like Joe, but I am doing a favor for Joe, so maybe I do like him after all. There's a simpler explanation. We like being useful, and by extension, we like those who give us the opportunity to do so. So, next time you want to gain someone's favor, don't think about doing something nice for them. Talk them into doing something nice for you because it makes them feel useful. This is the theme that gets repeated time and again in this book. People like to feel useful. It's the greatest feeling that they can have. When you no longer feel like you serve a purpose or a need in any aspect of life, it's extremely depressing. And one of the things that gets you out of the slump is if you do feel useful, give people that opportunity and they will feel differently about you, even if they didn't like you before. So keep that in mind. That's wisdom from Benjamin Franklin. And even though I've talked about it on here, I'll probably make a separate video about it all the same. So what did you think about that? Okay. So Gary says he's watching WrestleMania. Okay, so listen, I've never gotten into wrestling. However, my oldest son he's 24. He's always been into wrestling. And now everyone in my family is into it except me. They sit out there, it seems like most nights, and watch wrestling at some point or another. Seems like it's on 24 hours a day. But yeah, they absolutely love it. I wish I could get into it. So Gary says, I love Easter candy as well, but I'm diabetic, so I have cut sugar out. Ooh, well, type 1 or type 2? Wade says, my daughter and son-in-law are on the worship team in church on Easter. then going out to lunch with the family afterwards. I have a lot of good memories of Easter at church. I really do. A lot of good memories. Yeah. Um, well, I mean, they should be good memories. It's the whole. I mean, without Easter, we have nothing, right? With the death of Christ on the cross, that's not enough. It's only part of it, but it's nothing without the resurrection. So, yeah, Easter is paramount. Paramount. It's to me, it's the most important thing. It's more important than Christmas. Of course, you couldn't have Easter without Christmas, right? So Mike says, I had a concert that I went to, Stephen Wilson Jr. I highly recommend that you give him a listen. I know you recently lost your mother, Greg, but when I lost my father, Stephen's album grabbed my soul. I'm so out of touch with um, Christian music artists that I fail to remember who this is. Let me see. Let me see what you said here. Stephen Wilson Jr. So I'm looking him up now. I have a feeling I'll know who he is when I see him. Okay, he doesn't look familiar to me, but I've probably heard his songs or something. Is he a Christian artist? He's from rural. I can't hardly say that word. Rural southern Indiana. I'm from Indiana, but not southern Indiana, northern Indiana. But so yeah. Okay, I'll make sure I listen to some of his songs. I'll probably do that tonight before. Okay, so he's not a Christian artist. Okay, thanks, Mike. Yeah, so you're saying Mike's saying I can honestly say that his music helped me tremendously through the loss of my dad. Gary says, Gray, there's a reason it's intriguing because wrestling imitates real life, so many parallels. Okay. I mean, I don't disagree. I just don't watch it, so I don't know. I what little I've seen of wrestling that I thought was interesting was just the stunt work. You know, the storylines I could care less about, but the stunt work is pretty incredible. Um, so Gary's saying I don't listen to a lot of Christian music either, mostly because I feel like most of the artists are imitating Christian culture. Yeah, I have a lot of issues with anything that smacks of Christian entertainment. Not that I'm opposed to it, but it's just that I don't know. So Roger says the information from the book is certainly interesting and something that I can remember and apply in my life. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad that somebody, I'm glad that somebody heard it because I was wondering, when after I realized, I was wondering if it resonated with anybody at all. And sometimes you'll do these things and you don't know if anybody was actually listening to that part or not. But it's really cool stuff. I mean, it's a really interesting concept. I had never heard anybody put it that way before. And yeah, Nathan, good to see you. You're saying the beard is on point. Thank you. Oh, okay. So while you're at it, failed to mention this earlier. What are you wearing in your beard tonight? I figure most of you guys watching are bearded. Most of you, maybe not all of you, but a good number of you. What I'm wearing in my beard tonight is Live Bearded's Executive Beard Butter. Now I've talked about this on the last live stream. Last live stream I was wearing Bossman brand, but and we discussed different companies. But yes, tonight I'm wearing Executive Beard Butter, and I really like them a lot. This is my favorite one of theirs. It's got a very nice cologne scent. And if I was doing the live stream the way I'd want to, I'd have a banner running across the bottom of it telling you that there's a code of mine that you can use to save yourself 10 or 15% at Live Bearded by using my code Kratos, Kratos. So if you want to try out Live Bearded, you can do that. Just use my code to save yourself some money. All right. All right, Mike. You said you got to run. I understand. I understand. I'm surprised you stuck around as long as you did. You got to get up early. You said let me know your thoughts on his music if you get the chance. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very curious. So Gary's saying, Greg, remember the 2015-16 political climate, Trump versus Hillary? Oh yeah. You remember the divide and how friends split and became enemies over politics, and other enemies became allies? Oh yeah. You know, yeah, that was a big fiasco, wasn't it? I mean, it still is, but for different reasons. Mike says he's wearing Elite Grooming cologne. I haven't tried them yet. I mean, I hear them talked about, mentioned, or advertised quite a bit, but I haven't tried them yet. He's wearing the Elite Grooming cologne scent inspired by. Well, I don't even know how to say that. Parfums? De Marley Herod? I have no idea if I'm saying that right or not. So it's a cologne? Oh, they're out of Florida, a great company. Okay. You know, I've noticed that a lot of these beard companies are actually diversifying their product line a little bit better than they used to. They're carrying colognes, deodorants, other things, just all sorts of things to go along with it. Even shampoo and conditioner that's not for your beard. And I think that's a wise move to make. I think it's a really wise move to make. Nomad, good to see you, man. Good to see you. What's going on, bro? Just got out of the shower. Well, I hope you're dressed. Hope you're dressed. Thank God we don't have video on your end, right? So Nathan Tuck says this must be what he's wearing. Badass beard butter, ladies man hair. I need to look that up. I don't know if I've heard of them or not. Okay, so Gary is saying, Greg, that is how wrestling is. Tag team split, guys feud over the championship, and then later become friends, etc. It emulates true life. The stories are what gets people invested. You must be right. I mean, I don't have any reason to doubt you, but I listen to my kids, which are all basically adults now, young adults. I listen to them talk about it. They're so excited, and they talk about it like it's so real. I kind of like sit back and I'm like, well, whatever, But listen. If they enjoy it, then that's a.
I have to get some.
Oh, okay, okay. But I mean, if they enjoy it, that's fine by me. Oh, you're wearing Humidor, Artiest Man Humidor. That's one of my favorite ones by them. Their cigar scented beard butter. I like the beard butter because it seems to last longer than the oil itself. I almost put in Artiest Man beard butter tonight, Wade. Almost did. And now you're kind of making me wish I would have. Artiest Man is great. I need to put them back in circulation here. But that cigar scent is really, really nice. Do you smoke a cigar at all? I don't. George Bruno does. He talks about it all the time. And while I don't smoke anything, when he does it, it looks so relaxing, so chill, that makes me think maybe I should take that up. I wouldn't inhale if I did, but my wife would kill me. Like she needs another reason, right? All right. Oh, so you are wearing the oil, but not the beard butter. But you're saying you do like the beard butter. Okay. So Nomad is saying, I see this weekend is Easter Sunday. I don't really do anything for Easter personally. Just another day for me. When you're a kid, I suppose it's fun and all, but as an adult, it's kind of hard to get into it. Yeah, I agree. Unless you're going to church, it doesn't hold the same meaning. I kind of wonder if Christmas is the same way once all the kids leave home and you don't see them as often, especially if they're out of state, too far away to get together. I kind of wonder if it does the same thing, because I listen to my older brother who doesn't. Him and his wife don't have any kids, and none of these holidays are a big deal to him, And And I think that's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's probably going to happen to me and my wife too at some point. So Nomad's saying, hope everyone has fun with it though. It's if that's what you all do. Yeah. Paul's saying today I have in beard Reishi beard butter. Haven't heard that from Rite Aid drugstore, formulated by Dan C. Bearded. Yeah, I heard him talk about how he was working with Rite Aid a while, like a long time ago. It seems like I haven't seen that though. We don't have Rite Aid down here in Florida. It's not where I'm at. It's cheap and has a generic Gillette type scent. It's just okay. All right. Nomad says I don't smoke anything either, but I won't lie when dudes smoke. It's kind of a cool vibe. It is, isn't it? I mean, it is. It's like yeah. I know what you mean, man. That's why if I was a single guy, that's probably what I would do. Gary's saying, Greg, it's not even so much about the matches. It's about the wrestler's character and motivation. And different people resonate with different wrestlers. These guys are metaphors for real life issues. Yeah, I can see. I can see. Well, anything that can be considered a story has to have some element of relatability and realism to it to resonate. So, yeah. And that's why people feel it's real. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So Nathan says, Greg, bourbon or scotch? Well, I don't know that I've ever had scotch. I'm trying to think if I have or not. I'm not much of a drinker. I'm a very, very casual drinker. But I don't mind bourbon at all. Don't mind bourbon at all. I'm kind of a mixed drink kind of guy, but I do like whiskey. I just very rarely ever try it. So Nomad's saying Christmas is the same way for me. We didn't celebrate it all last year. My family went to a casino and we spent all night gambling on Christmas Eve. Did you win anything? Was it good? Gary says, Greg, I am straight edge as well. Never popped a cigarette or been drunk. I'm crazy enough sober. God can't have me drinking. I don't know if I've ever been drunk. I've never been sop drunk. You know what I mean? Like I've been very tipsy, probably more than I realized. I probably actually have been drunk, but I didn't recognize it. But if even at that, it would have been very rare. But I actually started drinking alcohol a little bit later in life. I never did it when I was younger. Never did it. And I had such strong feelings about it. And then after I started doing it later on, and I never wanted to do it like seriously, just like dabble with it. I was like, wow, look what I've been missing. And it's a good social lubricant, but I've never. So here's the thing: you're talking about cigarettes. When I was a kid, I used to love George Burns. He's my favorite comedian. Of course, he's been gone many years. He lived to be over 100, and I loved watching his old shows with him and Gracie Allen, his wife. But I always thought George Burns was so cool. He's very level-headed, very calm, very rational, but very funny. And he always smoked a cigar. That was his thing, you know. And he made cigars look cool. And when I was a teenager, I didn't have any desire to smoke cigarettes. I hated them, but I wanted to try a cigar, so I stole some cigars from a local Stop and Go, which is a store that's kind of like 7-Eleven. I was living in Grand Prairie, Texas. So I stole some cigars because I couldn't buy them. And then I went up on my roof. I played hooky from school. And then I went up on the roof of my house so that whatever happened up there stayed up there. And I tried to teach myself how to smoke a cigar. Never could get the hang of it. Never could get the hang of it at all. And uh, yeah, never tried it after that. But wow, I stole a lot of stuff. I used to steal quite a bit of stuff when I was young. I want to see. I have to go back. I have to scroll up a little bit. I overlooked a few comments here. Okay. No Man says, I am going to try to never taste a drink I don't want to get into. I used to feel that way years ago. But I just don't, It's not important to me. I could never have one again. I could care less. But I do like a good mixed drink, especially like at Chili's they have a Tito's punch. It's really really good. But there are ones that are a lot better than that. That's not really a real refined one, but that's a nice one. A Better Business Bureau. I think I remember you showing up before. Say God bless. Thank you. Nomad says I do regularly drink coffee and tea. I like both equally. I don't really care for either one. Like I'll drink tea. I do like some sweet tea, but I'm not a Southern boy. So I grew up drinking unsweetened tea quite a bit, and so I hated it because that's all my mom ever made. Sun tea, unsweetened tea, and I just hated it. I can taste it now as I'm talking about it. But I'll still drink it sometimes. But coffee, I never acquired a taste for coffee, and I kind of wish I would because I love the smell of it, and I love the smell of coffee scented beard products. I do. They're one of my favorites. Uh, what's the Fresh Beards? Fresh Beards has a tremendously good dark roast coffee scented beard butter and oil. Oh, it's the best. But Artius Man has pretty good coffee scented butters and oils, likewise, and balms. Mm. So Nomad's saying he's referring to his Christmas Eve casino venture. He says, I think we did win. It was pretty fun there. Well, Merry Christmas. Sith with no name says, not a drinker, but I like. George Burns, oh God, you devil. Yeah. You know what's funny? As much as I like George Burns, I never saw those movies. George Burns would not approve of you stealing cigars. No, he would not. No, he would not. Although I used to love his comedy. He's just great. Him and Jack Benny and Fred Allen, Charlie McCarthy, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, W.C. Fields. I loved all the old comedy. I used to collect old comedy hour audio tapes and just listen to them endlessly as a teenager. My parents thought I was really weird for that. But no, I really liked that kind of comedy. Nomad says, when I was in school, I was actually resistant to getting a phone for the longest time. I only got a phone in ninth grade. My first phone was an iPhone 6. Now I have an iPhone 16e. Okay, so this makes me curious. How old are you? Because just judging from your icon, I would have thought you would have been a little bit older. So you must be maybe young enough to be my son. I don't know. I don't know. Have any idea? So, because we didn't have this kind of technology when I was in school. So Sith with no name says bourbon number 1, Scotch number 2, spiced rum number 3. Spiced rum sounds good. Brandy number 4, Canadian whiskey number 5. Gary says he got arrested for stealing. I am shocked that I never ended up in jail. I guess I was just good at not getting caught, but honestly, I should have been in jail a number of times for the things I've done in my life. Really, truly, honestly. I'm glad I never have. Glad I never have. I'm old enough now where I do not have the desire or the drive to do things that would get me in trouble anyway. I'm glad. I'm glad. It's a blessing. But interesting, you got arrested for stealing. Okay. Nathan says, nice lineup. I wonder if are you referring to, oh yeah, you're referring to Paul's drink preferences, yes. Yeah, he's got it figured out, doesn't he? If you can provide a lineup like that, then yeah, you got to figure it out. Nomad says I drink straight black coffee. I never sweeten my teas or coffees. And Greg, I agree. Coffee has an offensive taste, but a really nice scent. I wish I could reconcile it, but I think at the same time I don't want to because I see the enormous amount of money people spend on coffee. I guess it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, if you just made coffee at home and drank it, it'd be one thing. My mother was a huge coffee drinker, but then you got these people who love to go to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, And I know that's a different game altogether. Um, I do want to mention that Artius Man does have a spiced latte, oil, balm, and butter that's really, really good. That's that is nice. By the way, if we're going to be talking about this, I do have down in the description below, guys. I do have. Make sure you look at that because I do have a lineup of the different companies that I am an affiliate with. And if you go to artiestman.com, you can use my code Greg20. That'll save you 20% on everything they have there. Of course, I have the Beard Struggle, Artist Man, Boss Man, Husky Beard, Bay Area Beard Company. That's when you see biblicalbeard.com. That's what that is. They have two different websites, and I need to update this. But Live Bearded, of course, Mad Viking, and then Arrowland's Wake Up Call Beard Jelly. So I'm actually an affiliate with a few more companies. I just never do business with them. So, but you might want to check that out. But if we're going to be talking about Artist Man, Greg20 is a code that you want to use. It'll save you 20%. Oh, so you're 21. That's not what I pictured. Soon to be 22 in a few months. Okay. Hopefully you'll still be watching at the time, so I can wish you a happy birthday. Gary says, my first phone was an iPhone 4 in 2014, and now I'm all the way up to an iPhone 8. Wow. iPhone 8. Wow. Brother, you need to update. I know, not necessarily. If it's not important, it's not important. But man, that's iPhone 8 is a long time ago. That's a long time ago. No man says I tried an Android phone once, didn't like it, then had the iPhone 13 from 2020. That's where I still use iPhone 13 Pro until around a month or so ago when I traded it in. What do you have now? What are you using? Are you using the iPhone 16? Let me know what you think of it. Is the camera better? Does it operate better? Does everything about it operate better? Because it helps hearing it from somebody that will tell you the truth about it. I had an Android. I used to have nothing but Androids before I had iPhone, and I didn't mind them, but that was so long ago. They were much older. There were no comparison to what they have now, even the updated Androids. So you were okay, Gary. So you were joking about being arrested. You're supposed to ask stealing what? So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stealing hearts. Clown. Yeah. Okay. I got you, brother. I got you. So stealing hearts. That sounds like something I would have said to my wife. I teased my wife tonight, told her that I had OnlyFans that she should check out. She's not interested. So Nomad says I never drink coffee from anywhere but home. So I saw something the other day where people were talking about, I guess there's like a TikTok fad now where people are talking about how you can actually drink coffee from home. Like this is the new thing now, and people are scratching their heads going, how is that new? That's what people always did. You didn't know that was an option? It's almost as if they really didn't know that you could have done that. So Paul says, I'm a big time tea drinker. I have teas all over the place and teaware, although I'm half East Indian, so there you go. Oh, really? It's kind of interesting to get descriptives about people to kind of form a visual in your mind, and oftentimes it turns out to be not what I thought. And probably still isn't, but... So Nomad says, hopefully so. I definitely plan on tuning into these whenever I can, referring to wishing him happy birthday. Don't be jealous of my iPhone 8, Gary says. Right? You know. I wonder what that looks like. Probably very, very basic. I'm sorry if it looks like I'm about to laugh, but that's just, I have never heard of anybody have an iPhone 8. Maybe we need to start a GoFundMe page for you. Maybe that would help. Our hearts go out to Gary because he can't afford a new iPhone. Heck, I can't either, really, to be honest with you. I'm keeping my iPhone 13 until it dies. So Nomad says iPhone 16e, the new one that just came out, the camera seems to be better, but that's the only real noticeable change. Okay. Is that so? That's not. That's the one that only has the two lens on the back, correct? I'm thinking that's the case. We all have dad jokes. Yes. I don't know. I don't know if I have any dad jokes. I might be the dad joke to my kids. I'm not much of a joke teller. Never have been. But there's, I mean, I can't have fun and be funny. All right. So Nomad says, last fall, my family sold a 34-acre woodlot. So it's been great that we had the kitchen remodeled and got all new appliances. Okay. Paul says, I have an iPhone 13. I think it was the last model with a SIM card slot. Well, I don't know because I have an iPhone 13 Pro. I don't have a SIM card slot for it. I didn't know that iPhones ever had SIM cards. Because I think, yeah, the iPhone 13 is actually my first iPhone. Yeah, that's how new it is for me. Oh, the iPhone 16e has one lens. How well does it see? How well does it see in the dark? Like shooting nighttime video, or maybe you don't do that. Maybe you don't try that. Maybe you wouldn't know. So Nomad says switching from SIM to eSIM was quite a hassle, but I was able to do it. Well, I think there's I think there was definitely benefits to having SIM cards you could switch out, and or you could upgrade, to a larger size, like maybe from like 128 to 256 or whatever the case might be. You're saying that the iPhone 13 sees better. No, it sees better than the iPhone 13. Okay. Huh. I've been thinking about getting a new iPhone. I just don't really need it yet. But I've heard that the 16e is affordable. But I've heard a lot of conflicting opinions about it. It almost sounds like it's a phone that people be very judgmental about. I don't see why. I mean, it's obviously not why they market it. But I just don't want. They're so expensive. I don't even want to. Whenever I buy stuff, even if I put it on a card, I try to pay for it in full right away, so I don't have that debt. And these iPhones are just so expensive. I just want to wait till it dies. It feels like though that my battery runs down a lot quicker than it used to, which is inevitable, right? It's inevitable. So Gary says, Greg, honestly, my iPhone 8 is actually good. The phones are really good quality. Okay, it works well, and I can easily access YouTube videos. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I mean, I'm kind of like ribbing you for it, but I've heard that people have kept a lot of their old iPhones forever. Nomad says, on the topic of technology, I got an M4 Mac Mini, and before I had an M2 Mac Mini. 2 years ago, I switched away from Windows to Mac and haven't regretted it. Well, when I switched from Android to iOS, I thought I had made an enormous mistake. It took, for like the first month, I was mad that I'd gotten an iPhone. I just thought it was too much trouble, and I never thought I'd get the hang of it. Now it's like second nature to me. But one of my bosses told me, he goes, "Oh, you'll get it figured out. Once you do, it won't be a problem." He was right, but I really thought I'd made a huge mistake leaving Android. I have a feeling I would regret going back to Android if I've thought about it. I've thought about getting a Google Pixel phone or Samsung, one of these, highfalutin Samsung phones. So Nomad goes on to saying, yeah, it's conflicted. It's up to the individual to decide if it's a good phone or not, I think. Yeah, so Paul's saying too much listening, spying, and tracking with these phones. I know that's a huge concern for people. But I just figured that my life probably has nothing entertaining, nothing that they want to see. Probably not enough money in my accounts that they bother with, but with me, I just not to say they couldn't do damage, but like, why would they pick on me? I don't really. I tend to have a bleh kind of an attitude about it. I don't really care that much, but I certainly understand the concern because obviously they're doing something with it on some level with all the data they mine. So Gary says, Greg, if you update your operating system, etc., it can drain your battery quicker. Really? I don't update the system. My iPhone 8 battery runs perfectly. Hmm. I hadn't heard that before. Dumbass says, I used the Yandex web browser, but today I was checking out the Thorium web browser. Seems pretty neat. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I don't use Google Chrome or the most common stuff other people use. Okay, now I'm curious. I'm going to look up Yandex and Thorium. I'm just going to put it on here. I'm not going to dive deep into it, but I'm going to put it on here for later. Let me just enter that into a Google search so I can search it later. Thorium. Maybe I spelled that wrong. I must have spelled that wrong. Let me go back and look what you have here. Thorium. No, I spelled that right, but it's not come up with anything. So Nomad says I have beta updates on my iPhone and on my Mac to get updates before regular people. Okay. Did you? I guess you're asking me if I updated the operating system, right? Well, yeah, because I figured that's what you're supposed to do, and I think they do it anyway, right? I think they do it even if you don't want them to. Like it'll automatically do it anyway, unless it's an option you choose in the settings to not do it. I'm not aware of it. So you're curious as to what I think of those browsers if I look into it. Thorium web browser. Well, let me put all of that in there. Web browser. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, my computer better not crash now, because I'm going to blame you for it if it does. I've never heard of these. Never heard of them in my life. It's going to take me to the dark web, isn't it? Probably not, but yeah. Not that I have any desire to do that, I don't, but you can select in setting not to auto update. I always wondered if I'd be missing something though if I did that. Well, okay. What is the what's the weather like where you guys are at? Because it's 70 degrees here tonight. We have actually had a good run of cool weather at night for a while now. That's kind of unusual, even at this time of the year. It's still, usually it gets kind of muggy, kind of hot, still stays rather warm. But we've been keeping some nice weather for a while, even during the daytime. It's been nice. But the weather patterns all over the United States have been kind of funky this year, with nice side effects, I have to say. So Nomad saying, finally clear. It was a nice sunny but windy day. Was able to get outside and collect some branches with the lawnmower and shredder to clear up the yard a bit. Filled in some holes in the yard too. Sounds like too much work for me. I'm sure you've told me, but where are you from? What state do you live in? Any of you can answer that question if you want. So Wade's saying the updates for your iPhone contain security patches that protect your phone against vulnerabilities and hackers, so you should take the updates. That makes sense to me. That does make sense to me. I figure there's a reason why they do it. So Bryn says, what's up, Greg? Thanks for that tip for the Asian Lantern Festival a few months back. My girlfriend and her family really liked it. It was a good time. Oh, that's cool that you went as a result of that. That wasn't that neat? I have never been to anything like that in my life, and I thought it was just beautiful. I tried to make a video, like a walkthrough video, but it was just there was too much going on, and it was too difficult with the number of people that were there that night. So I used the footage I had as B-roll to talk about in different videos. But that was well worth the money. That was money well spent. A great time. I'm really glad you guys liked that. Really glad you guys liked that. And I'll go to it again. And it's funny because ever since I went there, I have been seeing, I guess maybe because Google knows, you went. I've been seeing that it actually happens in different places too. And in Sanford there, they changed the setup. That Asian Lantern Festival goes on every year, and the setup looks different every year. So it's never the same. And so if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Asian Lantern Festival. There's got to be one, you know, relative, somewhat close to you guys at different points in the year. So Nomad said we recently took down a telephone pole out back and old wiring connection, an old wiring connecting the house to the barn and storage building since it was damaged in the winter. I am from upstate New York. Okay. So Paul's saying it's 63 degrees now in Bakersfield, California. 65 high, cool and cloudy today. Bakersfield, California. I've never been that far out west. So Nomad's saying it's 39 degrees now. Wow. Going to be 63 tomorrow. That's like perfect weather right there. So Bryn's saying, it's funny because I have a daughter named Bryn, but it's spelled Brynn. But Bryn's saying, oh, that's awesome. I'm going to have to check it out again next time they set up. I certainly am. Also, we ended up going to the Lantern Festival over the Dazzling Lights Christmas-themed walkthrough in Orlando. We were going to do that. We talked about doing that. My daughter Bryn went to that. And I really wish we would have made it. We were trying to do all sorts of things last year during the Christmas season. In fact, a couple weeks after I went to the Asian Lantern Festival there in Sanford, they had a Krampus festival, and I took my wife to see that because she's really into Krampus and horror stuff, things of that nature. So we did that, and I think our weekends were just packed during that time. But I'm sure this year we'll probably go to the lights in Orlando like you're talking about. So Nomad's saying lately the weather for the past few weeks has been rain, windy, and constantly overcast. We had 5 feet of snow at one point in the winter here and got stuck in the driveway for a week. Wow. And had to have a friend take his backhoe and clear the driveway out, and he almost got stuck. Good times, right? Good times. Wade says, I have not noticed a difference in my battery life with my iPhone. Okay, so Wade's responding to a query from Gary. Says he hasn't noticed a difference in his battery life with iPhone 13, but I did notice it with previous iPhones. So I heard that there was somewhat of a controversy about that, or at least the operating system running slower itself, if not the battery. And they were supposed to have quelled that, but I don't know if they ever did or not. But I can't imagine myself switching from iPhone, and I honestly can't imagine myself not updating my phone either at the same time. So I know that we talked about this briefly on the last live stream, but do you guys watch the UFC at all? I need to find out who's fighting this weekend, because one of the things I actually thought about doing as a live stream is live stream while I'm watching UFC. However, I would not be able to put the camera on the fights. I don't think they allow you to do that, or there's some kind of strings attached with that. Like you got to be careful about that kind of stuff. But I could have the camera on me. We could all watch the UFC together. and I could react to it. We could chat about it, and that would be fun. I've thought about doing that a number of times. So I need to find out. There's got to be fights on this weekend. Let's see who's fighting. Well, I don't know. It kind of looks like maybe there's not fights this weekend. Maybe next weekend. Maybe it's because it's Easter weekend. So when is this one? Machado Gary versus Pratis. So there must not be fights this weekend, but the following weekend. Okay, so I guess I just answered my own question. All right, so C Dub says he does watch the UFC. Nomad says I've only heard about it briefly, but I don't really watch much TV these days. I don't watch much TV, but I do watch the fights regularly and have for years. Gary says I'm a casual watcher. Holly Holm versus Rousey was my favorite match all time. And that was a while back, wasn't it? Yeah, you can't. Okay, so you know. Yeah, I guess I should have asked you, Gary. Yeah, you can't live stream any copyrighted, unfortunately. Yeah, I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put it on where you could even hear it, but I could react to it. And that I don't know. It's just an idea. I don't know if that would even work or not. Yeah, fights were last weekend. So, C Dub, did your fighters win? Did you have a dog in the fight? What did you think about the Patty the Batty and Michael Chandler fight? It was great, wasn't it? I mean, there's only 3 fights in that whole card that I really liked, but that was very entertaining. Brendan says you'd have to keep a timer on the screen that syncs up with the fight time. You're right. So we can sync our own streams to yours. Okay. I hadn't really thought about that, but that is true. We'll have to wait. Okay. Oh, so Gary, you're saying WrestleMania is on this week and they don't want to overlap with them. Okay. Well, maybe that's true. Maybe that is true. So, tell me, guys. I don't see the live stream the way you do it. I haven't had any real buffering issues since the beginning, have I? It seems like it's been pretty consistent, right? I'm looking to see if this has been an improvement or not. Oh, so you're saying, Gary, you're saying you actually did watch WrestleMania on a live stream. How'd that go for you? Did you have any problems with any kind of lag or anything, or did you get people viewing it with you? Did it turn out well? Okay, so Nomad says I haven't had buffering either. Okay, good, good. Bren's saying it seems pretty smooth, 0 buffering. That is a relief. Gary's saying the stream has been pretty smooth tonight. No buffering tonight. Good, thank you, Wade. Good. That's hopefully what's that thing called that I got? What's it called? The Wi-Fi booster. Hopefully that helped, but it didn't seem like it was at the very beginning. So I really was hoping I'd find that out. And like I said, I'm getting the service upgrade tomorrow, so I'm hoping that by next Tuesday night, my format will be different. I'm going to subscribe, I think, to EV Mux, or at least try the free version of it for a week or so. And it's going to be like a StreamYard layout where I can actually post banners and even bring in other people if I want to. So, yeah, it's like I said, I'm trying to make these small incremental improvements as I'm trying to get used to actually just live streaming. And I really, you guys have been sticking around with me for a while, and I really appreciate it. I'm enjoying my time with every one of you, and it's just a great way to hang out. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't really have a lot of friends that I hang out with. Eric, my buddy, I get to see him maybe once every week or two. We talk on the phone all the time, but This is a kind of a nice thing to do. Swap ideas. I hope I'm not falling out of frame. So, Gary, you're saying you only had like 8 or 10 viewers during the live stream, but I was fine because I was watching on another separate computer that I was live streaming on. Okay. Well, that's what I'm doing with this right now. I'm live streaming through my phone, but I'm watching on my laptop so I can actually see what you guys see and so I can read the chats. The only other channel I tune in for live streams is Larry's Lounge, but they were only on once a month or so. I haven't heard of them, but maybe I should look them up. Omar, well, hello to you too. Well, thanks for joining us. Your beard looks amazing. Any new video on how to trim that way? No, I don't have any new videos. I tell you what, so my last video that I made, I don't know if you've seen it, Omar, but it was on, I was using a 12 millimeter guard, which this has grown out since then. This is probably closer to 15, easily 15 millimeter right here. I don't know if I'll make another trimming videos soon. I'm not really sure. I don't know what I'm doing with my beard yet. I don't know if I want to grow it back out big or if I want to take it shorter. But because I don't know, I'm not going to do anything until I'm very sure. But the 15 millimeter length was a really popular video when I did one a while back. So it could be worth doing it. Even all the way up to 25 millimeter, which is an inch. So Nomad says, I'm definitely getting a haircut this weekend. It's been a few months. So my youngest son, who is 18, just will not go get a haircut. I don't know why. He just will not go get a haircut. It's driving me nuts. But I know if I say anything about it, I gotta be quiet because it's probably sitting out there. If I say anything about it, you know how it is. They'll just dig their heels in. So Gary's asking me why I don't like goatees. I think you should rock one for a season. It would fit you well. Well, I think it depends on what kind of goatee you're talking about. So when I was younger, like in my 30s, my late 20s, early 30s, I did have a goatee for a long time. But they were also a little more fashionable then. It was a very, very short goatee, close to the face. I think that those are out of fashion now. Nobody seems to like them at all. However, you have your longer goatees. You know, it's basically a beard without the sides, right? So that's kind of cool looking too. I just don't know if that's a good look for me. I do like it on other guys. I just don't know if it's for me. I got kind of tired of having one years ago. And I even had, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a device that you could get that you could put on your face. It's like you're supposed to hold it with your teeth, but it didn't work well that way. It just didn't work well. But you could put it on your face and it was like a template and you could trim around it. And I had that. And it was fun messing around with that, but I didn't think it worked that great. Can't remember what it was called. Goatee Saver? Maybe that's what it's called? Goatee Saver? Nomad says, it's probably been a year since I went full clean shave. I tend to prefer a short stubble look. Yeah, it's fun rocking that if you can pull it off. I just prefer to hide what's going on underneath here. The more you speak, the more rebellion. Yeah, that's true, right? That is absolutely true. That's why I try to let things go a lot. Oh, Gary, you're saying you have one of those. It doesn't work well, at least not for me. Yeah, it wasn't that great. It seemed like a really cool contraption when they first marketed it. I was like, that's really neat. But you can also mess up your goatee, and you can have too much on one side or the other. I didn't think it was a very good answer to lining up your goatee. And one of the things that drives me nuts is guys that have goatees and they're not lined up well, but they're not lined up equally on both sides. Oh, so Trey's here. Good to see you, Trey. Just joining. Um, well, so far tonight, Trey, things have run a little bit smoother, except at the beginning. But it's going a little bit better tonight. I hope you're doing well. What have you been up to? So, so JGN. He says, "Good evening, Greg. Quick question about shaping the sides of a mustache. I'm not growing the beard on my sides yet, just the goatee area in the front. For the sides, when shaving, you don't go straight down. Are you okay? Let me reread that to myself. Make sure I'm getting this right. Just goatee area front. Well, when I had that device, the idea was to go more or less just straight down. But a lot of guys, they'll actually trim their goatee like out over here. And I'm not really sure, when you're going out over here, I'm not really sure if that's a good look or not. I don't know. I don't know how I would do it if I had to do it over again. But back in the day, when I had a goatee, I would, I'd go out to the end of my mustache here and shave straight down. And now looking back, I don't know if that was a good look or not. I don't really know. So if you're another individual in this chat, or if you're watching this and you know better than I do, and or maybe you have a goatee and you're rocking it, feel free to chime in and give your opinion, because I'm sure you probably know better than I do. Kind of a longer goatee style. Is that what you're wearing? Because that's kind of cool. Like if I was gonna have a goatee again, it would be a longer goatee. Because I've really kind of started liking those a lot lately. So Nomad was saying, wonder if you had any stories about wisdom teeth. I had all four of mine removed last December, and it's interesting to think I have four less teeth. I've never had any problem with my wisdom teeth. I've never had them pulled. I don't think. I might have had one. I might have had one pulled, but I've had problems. I've had a few teeth. I've had problems, and I might have had one pulled because I had three teeth pulled at one time some years ago, and that might have been one of them. But the other two teeth were not wisdom teeth, and I still have a gap there, and it bugs me to death. I just know it's so expensive to replace them. So JGN says, okay, yeah, I already addressed that. Let's see, Trey says, watch TV show with the wife tonight. Oh, okay. What are you watching? Your show is much better. Wow. I don't know. That's not saying much, I guess, right? For that, whatever you're watching with her, but yeah, it's not Love Is Blind, is it? I don't even think that's on, but some of the stuff they watch, you know what, you know what my wife and my kids like to watch that I actually think is pretty cool is like those baking shows, like Nailed It or the Great British Bake Off or something like that. I actually kind of like some of those. So Gary's saying that is the best goatee, at least for most guys. I think so now. I do think so now. So JGN is saying, okay, so you sort of did go straight down when you had the goatee style. Yes, yes. Just be careful not to the sides like you demonstrated. Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing though. Okay, let me say this. Now that I'm sitting here talking about it, and I'm thinking about it a little bit more. When you do trim the goatee and it goes out a little bit further, it does seem to have a widening effect, visually speaking, have a widening effect to your face. When you go straight down here, it kind of adds a feature to your face. I guess it kind of has well, it depends on the shape of your face and how much weight you're carrying. It could give you a little more of a chiseled look. So there is a visual difference. Tell me what you think, though. Depending on what you do. So Nomad says, I got glasses for the first time last year, and I think I look a lot better with them than without. It's funny because you've hardly seen me take these off at all since we started, right? Because I can see fine without them if I'm not reading, but like to do anything up close like this, I have to have them on. And I don't know how they look, but these are just cheap reading glasses, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, some people actually look good in glasses. You know, people, that's a thing now, where people will buy lensless glasses just for the sake of, or not even lensless, but glasses that have no kind of prescription whatsoever, just because they think they look cool in it. Paul says I have no wisdom teeth left. Had to have the right side upper and lowers removed by dental surgeon. Yeah. It condenses it? I'm not sure what you're saying, Gary. I'm looking at your last comment. I'm trying to line it up with that. JGN says, thanks, Greg, will do. Okay. Trey says, I never wore a goatee. Was full beard from the beginning. Yeah, I didn't. It's funny because, of course, when I was a teenager, I had a mustache, and I thought that was cool. That's just what you did. And then I grew a goatee later on. I thought that was kind of neat, you know? Never thought about having a beard until I got to be almost in my mid 40s, maybe early 40s. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to things. Nate says, if your head any bigger, you'd be a cone head. Yeah, well, maybe. Nomad said, if I have an overbite and crossbite, so the Invisalign will help fix that to some extent. If I had the money, I'd get jaw surgery to move my jaw forward to where it should be, but that's a major surgery. Wow. Yeah. Gary saying, I was replying to your comment about the sleeker goatee and the way it shapes your face. You were explaining it condenses your face. Okay. Okay, that makes sense to me now. So Trey says, I had my wisdom teeth all pulled and cut out when a teenager. Wow. Wow. I guess I've been fortunate in regards to that. I just really haven't had that many issues. I had issues with my teeth, but not as bad as I would have thought. My mother had a lot of issues with her teeth, but my dad never did, and he didn't do anything special. He just, I guess, genetically, he kind of did all right. But my mom didn't fare well in that regard. JGN says, still waiting to be able to do the beard. 34 years. Nate's asking what my IQ is. It's probably a negative 24. I have no idea. I am not the sharpest pencil in the box, that's for sure. I'm sure, Nate, that you are probably way smarter than I am. So thanks for showing up. I'm sure you can probably set me straight here. So Gary says, JG, what are you still waiting for? So Nomad says, within the next few months, I plan on getting my right big toenail permanently removed. Well, okay. It's too annoying to deal with the constant ingrowns. Dennis Boone's saying I'm growing a year, maybe? But I grew the goatee out a month longer than the side, so my face won't be so round. Yeah, I've seen guys do that, and that seems to kind of work out. That's not a bad move, actually. Trey says, in 2015, I lost my lower front tooth due to an abscess. Wow. Nate says, I'm dumber than two dogs. So JGN says, good question. Maybe progression. Just now moving on from a Van Dyke-ish style. Yeah, those are kind of cool, actually. I like those. I do like Van Dyke style goatees. That's that's really kind of a cool look. Wow. Well, this is an area that I certainly have no expertise on whatsoever. Not that I really think I have any expertise on anything, certainly not teeth. for sure. But, oh man. So what did you guys have for dinner tonight? I had Chick-fil-A. My wife ordered Chick-fil-A. I always get the spicy chicken sandwich. For some reason, I just wasn't feeling it tonight. Yeah. Well, all right. Show us your wife. Now, my wife, let me tell you something, Nate. My wife has no desire to be on camera with me, but I did bring it up to her that there are guys that do live stream with their wife, and it seems like a lot of people seem to really like that. The dynamic is kind of fun, and my wife and I can cut up pretty well with each other when we want to, and I think it would be fun, but she won't. She won't do it. I've thought about a couple years ago, we talked about making videos together, like certain, not a lot, not on a regular basis, but she seemed kind of like she was up to it, but then changed her mind about it. I get it. I get it. Some people just don't feel comfortable on camera. It takes a while to get used to it. Nomad says he had a bowl of cereal, biscuit, and some crackers. Was fasting today. Good for you. Good for you. Fasting's good for you. So Gary says, Greg, one time I recorded a head shave video, and then after I shaved, I realized I had not hit record. So I had to wait a couple weeks for it to regrow to do it over. It's funny you bring this up because I was talking to my friend Eric from Eric's Excursions. I was talking to him on the phone last night, and he was talking about how he was making some shorts, short videos out at a local reserve here, and he was feeling really good about what he made, and he said everything just rolled off well, and he was enjoying it and was excited about uploading them. And then come to find out when he got home, they just disappeared from his screen. He was so upset about it. Like, he's really mad about it. And I totally get it. I said, just wait until you make long form content and everything's going well. The words come easy, everything flows, and this is the one. This is the video that can't miss. And then you realize you forgot to hit record. You thought you hit record. You remember hitting record, but you didn't. Yeah. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. And I did that. I told him this. I said, I did that on a beard trim video. And you can't undo that. You can't unring a bell. So like you, Gary, yeah, I had to wait like another month or two to remake it. Yeah. Or no mic on. Yes, Paul, you're right. That's happened too. I went to the beach one time, and this was with my Insta360 X3 camera, and I was using an external microphone, and the battery died. Of course, I didn't know. And with the way that was set up, if the battery dies and the camera is not functional, it doesn't record the sound at all. Not like the Pocket 3. The Pocket 3 will continue to record the sound even within the camera itself, so you don't lose anything. But no, that's happened to me before, and that sucks too. Nothing you can do. You're absolutely right. It's funny how I made $15 by selling my mic in the box. My headphones came in, as well as the instruction manual on eBay. What kind of camera did you have? I've got two Pocket. I got an Osmo Pocket 2 and an Osmo Pocket 3 camera. I got an Insta360 X3 and an Insta360 X4, and I love that camera. And then of course I got the camera on my phone, which I don't really use that much for anything except for like this and maybe a few other things. But yeah, that's about. Cameras are expensive, but I have never. I don't think I've ever spent more than maybe $500 or $600 on a camera. I'm not that good yet. I can't justify it. Just can't justify it. So anyway, here we are at almost 11 o'clock, which is about how it's been going. Been almost running 2 hours at this point. And it's a good time for me to kind of tap out because I need to, well, I need to get to bed at some point. I need to wrap up a few things. Actually, I need to edit a video to be uploaded tomorrow morning. It's about a head shaver. So for those of you who shave your head, I do have a new head shaving video coming out tomorrow. Unless something happens, I just can't get it done. But I've already made it. I just got to edit it. And you might want to be looking for that. But yeah, in fact, it's going to be about this right here. The Max Groom head shaver. All right. Yeah, so be watching for that because this is a great head shaver. I kind of wanted to introduce this tonight and give you guys a peek at it and give you the option of ordering it at 47% discount tonight. In fact, I think I might have actually put the link down there. Yes, in the description below, you'll see right under where I have it says donate to the channel, which you can do too if you want to. It helps support the channel, but you don't have to. But if you want to support the channel, you can do that. But underneath that, you have Max Groom Head Shaver. If you use that link right there, it'll save you 47% on this. But I'll be uploading the video tomorrow morning, or at least I'll be publishing it tomorrow morning for you guys to see. This is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'll give you, since you're still here, since some of you are still here that seem to care about it, I'll give you a look at it. This is nice. This is so nice. This is a tremendously good head shaver. I absolutely love this thing. But listen, I guess I did give you a little bit of a peek on it, but you can check out that link below. Still smells new. I love this thing. But I do have a link down there for you. It'll save you 40. That's a huge savings, 47%. And it's definitely worth getting. Because, you know, I don't like using a razor all the time. Sometimes I like a quick shave, and this offers a very nice, quick, close shave. So, yeah, let me know if you check that out. All right, read a few more comments here. JGN says, oh, he's telling Gary, I was late. Glad you were going so I could bring up my question. I just found your channel today and will continue checking it out. Oh, maybe you are talking to me. I don't know. I'm not sure. Gary's asking me, Greg, are you a teacher? I thought, yeah, I heard you say that one. That one. Well, I was in a church, not like in a school, but I did teach in church. The shaver looks good. Handheld shaver is such a great invention. Yeah, this is really, really nice. Oh, so I guess he was talking to Gary. Sometimes people get my name wrong, so drop me a comment. Sometimes I make commentary videos. Okay, I know what you're saying. It doesn't apply to me. You don't need a discount code. You don't need a discount code. You just click that link, and the savings on it are huge. It's a huge savings, and so you don't even need a code. It's an Amazon link, but it's a link specifically for me. So, no, okay. So I think we're all a little confused here between JG and Gary and me. So I guess he was talking to me. Let me go back and see what you said here. Okay, so oh, you can continue checking it out. Oh, thank you. And by the way, guys, if you have not checked out content other than what you normally watch where my channel is concerned, please do so. And also, if you, like I said before, if you know people who like the kind of things that you like, turn them on to my channel, turn them on to my live streams. I would love to see more people come in here and chat. We'll just yuck it up, have a good time, and we'll do this again. I plan on being here for sure next Tuesday night. and next Thursday night, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. But this weekend, I might throw in a spontaneous live stream. So make sure that you check your notification bell. Make sure it's turned on. I know that some of you have said that even though it was turned on, you didn't get a notification. I understand that, but at least try to make sure if you don't have it turned on, click it and like the video also. And yeah, and then yeah, Gary's apparently going to be suing me. Maybe soon. I don't know. No, I guarantee you won't be. You're going to like this thing. It's really good. It's really good. But I will have that video out tomorrow morning, and there's a good possibility. There's a good possibility that I'll see you live sometime this weekend. So yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Thanks for chatting it up with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right. In the meantime, be wise.